Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Amazing but Obscure podcast. In this podcast, we like to interview people that have had a phenomenal effect on the world, but somehow flew under the radar. Today on our podcast, we will be interviewing Matthew Henson, a world-renowned explorer. Matthew, what was the most exciting moment of your journeys? The most obvious answer to that would have to be the North Pole. However, during this discovery, we didn't even know we discovered it till the next day due to visibility issues. And when we came to the conclusion that I had been the first one there was a lot of jealousy in the air, a lot of rage, especially from Perry. Perry was not excited by any means, and that kind of dampened the mood. It definitely changed the whole demeanor of the situation from being excited to just upset. So if I had to pick what was really the most exciting moment in my journeys, it would have to be when Perry gave me a job. This happened when I was working in a hat shop in 1877, and he came in and he was impressed with my knowledge of exploration. So he offered me a job, and it was kind of like a second chance because I already been exploring with someone named Captain Cook before this, but he unfortunately passed away. And I thought that had been the end of my exploring career. Well, that was unexpected, but a good answer. For the next question that some of the viewers have been asking us to ask you was, what was the hardest part of your explorations? That's definitely a tougher question. There's many issues on these journeys, whether it's cold or other things, but I'd have to say that starvation is definitely the most detrimental. It brings me back to an example that I went through in Greenland in 1893. One of our sledge dogs, except for one. So that was a pretty grueling experience for the whole entire crew. Uh, I definitely would have expected that to be an issue, but never that level of an issue. That is a pretty disturbing experience that you had to go through, and I'm sorry for that. So we will move on to the next question, which is kind of more personal. It's about you and Perry, is your relationship. So you had a falling out after the North Pole discovery when he got all the credit and you did not get any, really, due to the times that you were in. Do you think if he wasn't so jealous and supported you, you guys would still be exploring or at least friends right now? Uh, we we definitely wouldn't be exploring. Maybe light exploration around the world, something like that. Nothing too big. We were getting old, so we knew it was just about our last journey of that magnitude. But friendship, yeah, I think we definitely would have been friends, and I'm sad that we're not because we had been through so much together. Uh, we worked together for over 20 years and experienced a lot of hardships along the way that bring you close. Am I sad that our friendship ended? Yes. Uh, but would I be willing to just forget everything about what he did to become friends with him again? Not necessarily. I think there's a little bit more. He needs to at least apologize publicly or something to kind of regain my trust and respect. Speaking of hardships, Mr. Hanson, how did all this time away from home affect your family life? Uh, so it definitely took a toll on my family life. For starters, my first wife and I got a divorce. Her name was Eva. That was pretty early in my career. And then I married a woman named Lucy Ross. Lucy, she knew more of what she was getting into when she married me. She knew that I'd be gone for long periods of time. However, it still definitely took a toll on our relationship. And me being away for so long sparked a lot of controversy on plenty of things and aspects. We also never were able to bear children because of this time away from home. I never had time, and by the time I settled down, I was too old. So it had its trade offs, but overall, I think it worked out okay. All right, Mr. Henson, that's all the questions you have for you. Is there anything else that you would like to add that you want the audience to know? Yeah, there actually is. If the audience wants to learn more about my life, they should go pick up my biography that I published in uh, 1947 called The Dark Companion. And if they would like to know more about my explorations, I have a book called A Negro Explorer in the North Pole, which came out around 1912 and is full of my Arctic memoirs. All right, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up Mr. Henson's books. Sound like great books to me. And thank you for being on here today with us, Mr. Henson. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you. It's a pleasure talking to you too. It means a lot to me because at the time of these activities, I wasn't necessarily able to have such an open voice to the public, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.